Hello everyone and welcome to yet another recreational programming session with Mr. Azozin. So today it's too hot to do any serious software development, so what I decided to do some low effort language review slop, and the target of today's stream is going to be this thing that I heard about some time ago, but I just brush it off because it's yet another so-called C killer, but it looks like a pretty good target for our language review slot. So let's actually read about it. So C3 programming language, simple, fast, safe, compiled, for developing maintainable software. Not readable, mind you, only maintainable. They said nothing about readable. So yeah, it looks like, I don't even know what it looks like. Is that right? What's the point of a FN keyword if you just like using, this is basically C, but with an unnecessary additional FN keyword. Like it's just like you can remove FN keyword and have sort of like a backward compatibility with C. It's just like okay, so it has modules. So you can have a module system and stuff like that. So it's already better than C. So it has modules, it's already better than C. You can have namespaces. You can finally separate Raylib into a different namespace so it doesn't collide with Win API. That's already a win, in my opinion. That's already a win. Right, so let's actually get started. Why is it bright? I specifically requested like a dark mode. Like, why don't you... This is what you get when C developers start developing websites, right? So you get stuff like that. Anyways, so, okay, but how do I install this shit? Excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna go back. So get started doesn't really get you started. Okay, so here is the installation guide. Okay, so you have Debian, specifically Debian, not just Linux, Debian, and we are, as far as I know, on Debian. Okay, so let's actually download. So it's a Linux star. Okay, so we're downloading. Okay, so we got the tar. Okay, so let's go. So I'm gonna go into the downloads. Let me take a look. So where are we gonna put all that? So I think I wanna create like a separate sort of like a folder and scheisse. So I'm gonna call it C3 prob. And I'm gonna just move this entire thing in here and let's do unboxing. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for unboxing experience of a programming language? So let's go ahead and just like... All right, so the root folder is called Linux. Not even a C3 Linux, or it's just Linux. We just downloaded the source code of Linux, apparently. That's what happened. All right, so I'm gonna rename it to just something like C3 Linux so I can like distinguish it. Like, I mean, the archive itself is already called C3 Linux. You could have like just called it like that at least. Okay, so we've got a single executable and MSVC build libraries.py on fucking Linux build. I'm on Linux. Guys, I'm on Linux. What MSVC? What the fuck is this? Okay, wait. I want to open it. Like script based on this thing. Okay, so what is that? So it's based on some sort of like a gist. Right, so you need MSVC for Linux, or just like, what the fuck is going on? Don't MSVC compile linker Windows SDK without installing full Visual Studio. All right, that's fine. It's just like, it doesn't affect anything. It just like looks a little bit silly, right? It just looks a little bit silly. So we have an executable C3C, right? So we can take a look at what it is. It is in fact ELF a 69-bit LSB Pi executable x86-64 version 1 CSV dynamically disgusting. Dynamically link. How are you supposed to create a self-contained software if you dynamically link with things? Absolutely disgusting. Anyway, that's fine. I'm joking, actually. So let's actually take a look at what kind of dependencies do we have in here. Not that many dependencies. So we have a compiler that depends on libxml2. This compiler, for whatever reason, needs to be able to parse XML files. I have no idea why, but it needs to be able to parse XML files. Maybe Maybe because it integrates with MSVC, actually, because as far as I know, MSVC projects, they are XML files, aren't they? I think they are, so just in case it does that. But I mean, we're on Linux. Again, so that doesn't explain shit. Maybe the standard library sort of has like something, but I mean, the compiler doesn't need to have libxml. I don't know. Maybe it's configured through XML. Libs. Okay, you guys are funny. You guys are funny. Okay, so let's actually try to run this executable and see if it even runs on my machine. It seems to be running. Okay. Okay, it has a system of subcommands. So you basically compile a file, right? You can initialize projects, you can build and stuff like that. So it feels a little bit like Go. It feels a little bit like Go-ish, right? So, okay, so let's take a look at Hello World. No. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create Hello C3, and I'm gonna actually save it as an empty file. So let's do an empty file test. How this language will react an empty file, right? So will it give any useful information? So because it's kind of cool, it would be cool to have a language that you just start with an empty file, and the error messages are descriptive enough that you can actually figure out how to create an entry point without even looking into the documentation, just by looking at the error messages, right? So it would be kind of cool if there was a language that can achieve that, right? So let's actually see. Oh, you're supposed to actually say something like compile. Okay. No main function was found. Compilation only object files are generated. Okay, so what the fuck? Lib. this thing that just barfed. It just. What the fuck am I even looking at? Like, bro. There's so many of them. Like, holy shit. Okay, so if I take a look at what the fuck is this? It's almost a megabyte of files. Like, I created an empty file, I tried to compile just an empty file, and it just barfed into the current folder almost a megabyte of object files of different things. I don't know what's up with that. I honestly don't know what's up with that. But we're gonna just keep it, right? So it's understandable for like a compiler to just have some sort of artifacts of compilation. Jai does stuff like that, but as far as I know, Jai tries to keep them in a separate sort of like a .build folder, right? So it may barf a bunch of stuff, but it will barf it into a separate sort of like a bag, right? Into a separate sort of folder, so to not disturb your current folder, right? I think it's a little bit more civil. So anyways, let's actually see. So it wants a main function. So from the promotional material, I kind of vaguely remember that you're supposed to put fn void. Oh, we don't even have a highlighting, guys. We don't even have a syntax highlighting. Okay, so let's actually try to do something like this. And let's try to compile it one more time. So what is it going to do? Program linked to executable hello. Okay, so all the object files just like sucked up into the executable, right? So I suppose there's sort of like an intermediate things. Right, so everything got sucked up into the executable. All right, so fair enough. Let's take a look at the executable that we got in here. All right, so it's 64-bit ELF executable. It's dynamically linked and stuff like that, nothing particularly special. And what does it depend on? What does it depend on? It depends on the libc. It depends on only on libc. So it's almost statically linked. Almost. They couldn't get rid of libc, which is understandable. Kind of on Linux, it's kind of difficult to get rid of libc, right? So it's almost like it's the Win API of Linux, right? The libc is the Win API of Linux. There's nothing much you can do. What was there libc.o if it links with libc? I have no idea. Like, I'm seeing this entire shit for the first time. This is literally my first impression of this thing. Like, I don't know anything about it. Right, never tried it locally on the machine. only read documentation a little bit in the past, but that's about it. Okay, so let's actually try to run this entire thing, and it's not supposed to do anything, right? So it's not supposed to do anything. So I remember you do something like IO, println, something like your mom, right? So let's actually see if it's going to compile. Okay, so expected, look at that, look at that. So it tells you precisely where you expect the semicolon. Props for error messages, props for error messages. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so IO println could not be found. Did you spell it right? Asking rhetorical questions. Asking rhetorical questions. I don't know. Like, did I? Do I have to maybe import this entire thing? Yeah, so I have to actually do the import. Okay, so let's actually try to do it one more time. Okay, so is it not println? It's just, oh, it's a print n without L. Okay, so all right, fair enough, fair enough. All right, so I wonder if I don't import and just do std, right? Is it going to? No, in a module, so you have to explicitly import it like that. Okay, so I got a hello world. Seems good, she seems Tamaguchi, but I want to have like a little bit of an extension or like mode. So let's see if the mode for this thing is available in the packages, in Melpa packages. So let me do C3 mode. There's no mode in here, so let me go to Melpa. Is this another Raylib speed run, by the way? I don't know, honestly. So we can try to link with Raylib. So I don't really know how to link with external libraries in here. So we'll see. So C3. So there's no C3 mode in here. So maybe we can find something something on the interwebs. Something on the interwebs. C3 mode Emacs. So can I, by the way, have a dark mode in here? Thank you so much. Yeah, apparently we just can't have the editor support for this thing. Okay, so C3, maybe it's a C3C mode? No, it doesn't know that. Well, what about Google? Maybe Google can answer that to us. No. So, all right. So C3 language, GitHub. Maybe they have some sort of like, yeah. So this is what I'm talking about. They have a GitHub. So maybe they have an extension somewhere there. So there's a Docker dependencies, minis, SSC wrappers, resources. Don't really see anything. Ooh. So there's some sort of like they ported Quake or something like. Wait, did they rewrite it in Quake or what's up with this screenshot? What's up with this? Like, what does it have to do with this? It's a. I don't know, man. It's kind of bizarre, but anyway. So maybe it's in organization. So editor plugins. Okay, we found something, bruv. Emacs. Look at that. Look at that. We found Emacs. Okay. So obviously, I probably want to actually give the link to the editor plugins in here, right in the description. So that's what we found. This is where we found all that. So this had simple syntax highlighting for Caesar. Yeah, this is exactly what. The fuck? Am I famous or something? It's just like this is the last thing I actually expected. What the fuck? I'm glad that it was useful, right? I'm actually glad that it was useful. Okay. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. It does look like it. It does look like it. Yep. Thank you. All right. So let me quickly give it a star. Right. And obviously, like so far from what I can see, this language already deserves a star, right? It works, so you can like write "hello world" in it like it's a language. So I'm gonna give it a star already. Don't know if it's gonna become the actual C killer or anything like that. None of the languages actually do become C killers. I don't think it's possible to kill C at this point already. But I mean, just augment it, just kind of augment it, maybe it is possible. All right, so let's do a wget, and let's just wget this entire thing. All right, so, and in here, so here we have, where is the GI mode? We can just simply do require C3 mode, right? So we can just enable that. And when I go to hello C3 and I revert this entire thing, look at that. Look at that. We've got the syntax highlighting. We've got the syntax highlighting. So I can already work with this language. All right, pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. So what kind of stuff we can do in this language, right? So there's some examples. What kind of examples? Okay, so you have if conditions. You have for loops, which are classical for loops from C, so with like this three-part initialization, condition, and increment. Okay, fair enough. Honestly, it looks like C, except that single fn keyword. This is something that I don't understand. If you're trying to look like C, just go all the way through. Why introducing that additional keyword? I do not fully understand. Is that to sort of like resolve some sort of like syntactical ambiguity in C or something like that? Maybe, yeah. So this is what I was thinking about. Maybe for function pointers, because function pointers syntax in C is kind of ass. Yeah, people are talking about like there is a for each in here. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. So maybe this is needed to resolve some sort of like a assness of the function pointer syntax. Maybe that's the case. You have enumerations, and you can even specify the type of the underlying type of the enumeration. That's already pretty cool. So here are the switch cases and stuff like that. So that's a C++ killer right there. The C++ killer right there, because one of the killer features of C++ was what? Destructors. Array. So basically, you can deallocate some resources when you reach the end of the scope, and they were always bragging and you know, acting like they have a moral high ground over C for that feature. Not anymore. We've got defer, bitch. We've got already better than C++. Already better than C++. So yeah, defer. Okay, struct types. I mean, everybody has struct types. Function pointers. Yeah, okay, so you were right, by the way. You were right. So it just makes it easier to maybe define function point. Def? So it's sort of like a redefinition of some sort. So so maybe it's a type definition or whatever. So error handling. Oh, okay. So errors are handled using optional suffix denoted with, so it's sort of like an in here or whatever. Yeah, okay, I see. Okay. So there's this kind of stuff. All right. Contracts. Wait a second. Pre and post conditions are optionally compiled into asserts, helping to optimize the code. Ooh. Ensure, and they're part of like a comment in here. What is this Java stuff? So you put this kind of stuff into a comment, but because it's sort of like an attribute, so some external tools may probably inspect that and maybe bake that. Or what is this Java? What Java is doing in my C killer? Excuse me. This is like Java. What? Like imagine like programming C, all of a sudden Java. Brother, ooh. Where's that meme from, by the way? Such a fun. Like I see everyone actually like reposting that, like brother, ooh. Anyway, all right. So there's some macros. Macro arguments may be immediately evaluated. Okay. This is actually super cool. Wait a second. So macro, and so I suppose it's like literally like substituted in here. And macros are not just some stinky preprocessor. They're part of the language. They're part of the language. This is what I can respect actually. Ooh. Some sexy macros. Dang. Some sexy macros. All right. So methods. But I mean, okay, so this is kind of a questionable feature, right? So, but it works like in Go, right? So I don't really see any, like that much point in methods, to be fair, right? There's just like a syntax, an alternative syntax to call in a function, because at the end of the day, right? So how something like this is different than something like this? It's just like, it's just an alternative syntax. It's just an alternative syntax, and it's just like, maybe some people like it because you can sort of like chain, this kind of thing, right? And it feels cool. It feels as cool as, for example, chaining the commands in bash, right? So you can have command foo, then you pipe it into bar, into buzz, and you build this sort of like a chain thingy, so it kind of feels cool, you feel smart. And maybe because of that, people also like methods. I personally just like an alternative syntax, right? So, but whatever, it's fine. Compile time reflect. Ooh, so wait a freaking second. That is fucking sexy, mate. Look at that. You have a macro, print fields, and it accepts a type. You take members of that type and you just iterate them at compile time. You iterating fields of a type at compile time in the context of a macro. And what you're doing in here, I suppose, since it's like a macro for each, right? So it has $1 in front of it. So I suppose it's an indication that it's a macro for each. So you're basically generating these IO print fn statements, right? And basically it's almost like you like manually printed each individual field of this thing, and for each. That is kind of bizarre, honestly. That is honestly a bizarre syntax. In all fairness, what's if a macro system part of your language, what's so difficult of doing something like this, right? What's so difficult of just like doing that? Why do you need to have this kind of thing? I honestly don't understand. Like at the end of the day, you have curly braces in here, but not here. So what's the logic behind this, right? So why don't just like do that in here? And that looks cleaner, in my opinion. It just looks cleaner. It looks cooler. It's not a scope. But I mean, it's kind of obvious to me that what this loop does, it just generates, like emits these print fn statements. So I personally would have not been confused by these curly braces if they didn't really generate a scope in the generated code. Like, I don't know. Maybe there is some sort of like a deep reasoning behind doing it this way, but I mean, I'm like looking at this language at a surface level, right? So I didn't really know the deep reasoning behind all these decisions. But at the first glance, as a first impression, it kind of looks sus. That's what I'm saying. It's a cool concept, don't get me wrong. It's a pretty sexy fucking macro stuff, right? So some sexy pretty macro stuff. But at the surface level, this kind of thing looks a bit sus. That's what I would say. It looks a bit sus. It could have been, like, I think cleaner, but whatever. Okay, so compile time execution. Okay, so through the macros, you can just do compile time execution. Fair. We already kind of see that. So, and again, this one actually, Yeah, so it follows the same sort of logic. All of these compile time constructions, they don't use curly braces. Interestingly. So it's sort of like a recurring theme throughout the language, right? So you have a runtime language and you have a compile time language. And compile time language is like it's syntactically distinct, so to speak. Maybe that's the point of this entire stuff. Compile time Turing completeness. I mean, that's a thing that you want to have actually. So you want to have a compile time Turing completeness. After decades and decades of software development, we, software developers, came to a conclusion that yes, we want to have a full-fledged Turing complete language at compile time. We do want to have that. But we need to do a lot of complicated shit at compile time. So I see nothing wrong with that. Sorry. I literally see nothing wrong with that. Benefits are overwhelming. Yeah, exactly. So this is the reason why we have build systems. Literally, build systems are a symptom of us wanting to have a Turing complete language at compile time. So we're just looking for solutions. Yeah, it's literally a hack to having that. So if we just had languages that could do whatever you want at compile time, maybe we would have never had such overcomplicated build systems, right? So which are basically stacks of generators on top of generators on top of generators on top of generators. Right, so because at the end of the day, we just want to do some stuff at compile time. Yeah. So, okay, generic modules. Ooh, I forgot that this thing has modules. And you can have, this is some camel type shit. Look at that. Some camel type shit. I can respect that. So it's basically modules that are parameterized with some stuff and you can instantiate these modules. Okay. Fair, fair, fair. Dynamic calls. A little bit of a polymorphism. A little bit of a polymorphism, look at that. So that means it probably creates a vtable or something, right? So you can have an okay, so you can even explicitly say that this thing is dynamic. Right, so yeah, okay, so interesting. Okay, so we went through all of the props to the creators for this page. This page is awesome, honestly. I really like that they can just like basically have a tour of the language. I just go through these examples, I just scroll through them. Okay, so and I'm having like a tour of like through the language. Very useful actually. Very useful. So now I have a like rough idea what language is capable of without reading the entirety of the reference guide or anything. It's just like, yeah, so you can do that, and that, right? Okay. So far so good. Like I really like this language so far and how everything is organized and everything. So they have FAQ. Maybe we can read FAQ. What's the most fundamental modules in a standard library? STD core, blah blah blah. I'm not really interested in that. How the string works? Define a native string type string, which is a distinct char, because char is essentially a pointer plus length. Some care has to be taken to ensure that the pointer is properly managed. Okay, so I'm not really interested in any of that stuff. So this is slices. Okay, so the examples were not the full sort of like tour in here. Oh, I remember this shit. It has built-in vectors. It has built-in vectors. So this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do a review of this language, right? So it has these built-in type of vectors. So you can say, so it's a vector of 2 integers. And what's interesting is that it has mathematical operations defined on them, and you can do swizzling. Holy fucking shit. So essentially you can, yeah, you can do JLSL stuff basically in that language. So, yep, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So I don't even need a vector type from goddamn Raylib. I don't even need that. I don't fucking need that, mate. So speaking of Raylib, right? So we need to probably link with Raylib. How easy it is to link with Raylib, by the way, how easy it is. So yeah, so save all of that stuff. Save. What the fuck is going on? So maybe, I think my Emacs. I think my Emacs is dying. It just got stuck for whatever reason. Okay, I'm gonna kill Emacs. So let me go to probe C3 probe. Okay. Oh yeah, so I have some weird shit now because Emacs died. Okay. So now, what I want you to do, I want you to take a look at this thing. So link. So you can pass. Linker built-in CC custom default is C custom requires a path. Link with the library provided. So it does have some stuff for linking with libraries, which is kind of cool. All right, so let me go ahead and just download Raylib. Raysan com Raysan5 Raylib. So let's take a look at releases. So we didn't have releases in this year of Raylib. Link in Raylib, let's go. I just want to see how easy it is to just do that, right? So I wonder if it is easy to just link with some C libraries. Right, so I'm gonna do wget, and I'm gonna just download this thing. I should have actually done that with the ampersand, so I can see, you know, the background job happening. So there's also this lib thing, right? So I suppose that this is the standard library, and this is the stuff that we have in the standard library. We have math, we have libc. Oh, by the way, libc is going to be super useful for FFI stuff, right? So, okay. I already know how to forward declare Raylib functions. That was easy, actually. I didn't even need documentation, so here it is. So this is libc.c3. So if I want it to have an external function, this is how I would do that. So it's an extern, and then just like this. That's pretty cool. So I'm gonna use that as an example to do that. All right, so here's the Raylib, and let's just maybe unpack Raylib. Okay, good. So this is what we have in here. This is what we have, and what I'm thinking is I want to do compile, right? So hello C3, and I'm gonna say just link this entire stuff with maybe libraylib a, right? So what does it say? Cannot process unknown option. Okay, so it's probably is not done like this. Right, we have to do it like that. Okay, so that's cool. So cannot find library lib a, no such file or directory. Perfect. Right, so it probably needs a path to where find all of that. So let's provide the path. The path is going to be here. Ooh, that was interesting. So it still couldn't find that. So that path thing was not particularly helpful. That's interesting. Okay, so but what if I don't provide the path, like path separately? What if I just say, okay, link with this full path? All right, so it worked. So I didn't even need like a capital L. I could just say link with that path, and it will just link it with this thing. All right, so it probably completely eliminated dependency on Raylib because we don't really use anything from that thing. And I wonder if I can actually link with SO dynamically. Can I link with SO dynamic? I can. And the question is, does it depend on anything from? It doesn't depend on anything in here. Anyways, so let's go ahead and maybe you know, try to initialize a window or something like that. So can I say extern fn void init window, right? So we're gonna say init window, and if I remember correctly, if we take a look at the Raylib's, you know, signature init window. So the thing about the signature in here is that it accepts the pointer to character, and I don't really know how to work with C strings in C3. But as already said, we can actually look it up in the standard library of libc. We can just literally look it up. So we can just provide the pointers. So first of all, integers have to be cint, like so. So they have to be cint. So what about the characters? Okay, so gets. So you can just say, you can just leave it as it is. All right. So that should work actually. That should already work. Okay, and I wonder if now I just call this entire thing init window 800 by 600 and hello from C3. Will that just work? Okay, so it doesn't work. So what does it say? Okay, there is unexpectedly a type after the return type. Did you mean dot? The case probably has some sort of a meaning. So probably capitalized name are types. Right, remember the method stuff? Yeah, so capitalized ident. Yeah, brother, ooh, brother, ooh. Okay, so types, let's read about the types. As usual, types are divided into basic types and user-defined types, blah blah blah. All types are defined at global level. Naming. All user-defined types in C3 start with the uppercase. Go things, yeah. How do you plan to kill C with this kind of stuff? How do you plan to kill C? But I mean, it's fine. It's fine. We can live with that. So I suppose what that means. That means we have to. There should be syntax that allows us to specify the name of the symbol we're linking with. There should be some sort of syntax. So let me see. So I'm going to do init window. And what is that symbol? Can I just say symbol? No. So they use add. I feel like it's one of these add things, right? So you see add if. Oh, this is a conditional compilation, guys. This is a conditional compilation. So you create such declaration if it's not Win32. So you think it's external window, right? So you think it's external window, but did you guess that, or do you know that? That's a real question. So external. Oh, you found that. Okay, so fair enough. So we can actually do it like this. Init window. All right. So you were right. Okay. So there is no such thing as const. Fair enough. Let's get rid of that. And we successfully compiled. And if I take a look at LDD, we actually link with raylib.so. But I don't want to mess with R paths or anything like that. So I'm going to actually statically link with this entire thing. I'm going to be statically linking with this entire thing. And so the size of the executable is now 1.6 megabyte. Before it was below megabyte, right? So and if I try to run hello, we just speed run Raylib. Easy peasy, dub. That's a huge plus to language, that it doesn't stay on my way too much in linking with C. As I said in my ADA video, right? So if any self-respecting language should not stay on your way to link C libraries, because that's where the useful code is, right? So it's pretty cool that you're trying to kill this unsafe language and stuff like that, but a lot of useful code is written in C. So if I need to link with C, please don't stay in my way doing that. And I appreciate that. So it's already serious language. This language takes itself seriously, right? So I can write some stuff in it. So that's actually pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, and I can just like continue doing this entire process, right? So continue doing this entire process, add more and more bindings, and maybe write some sort of a game, right? So I can now close the window, right? So close window doesn't really accept anything in here, right? So let's just say close window, close window. Okay, so let's try to compile this, I think. Compile, seems to be compiled, cool. So we can now do the other thing. So libc, do we have booleans anywhere? So there's just the boolean. Yeah, I suppose I can probably do extern fn bool. Window should close, and this is going to be extern window should close. And the last things I want to define in here is probably begin drawing, and end drawing. So begin drawing and end drawing. All right, so then I can define something like this. Not window should close, right? While window should not close, we're gonna begin drawing and end drawing. So it's very important to organize an event loop and call these begin drawing and end drawing functions, because they contain, you know, draining the event queue and also synchronizing the frames and also swapping the buffers, right? So you really want to call them on each individual iteration. Otherwise, the event loop is not going to work properly. So funny how Raylib became his quintessential test bench for new languages. This is because I'm not really creative. Like, what else can I do? Right, so okay, I'm presented with the language. So how am I going to test it? I'm going to test it on things that I usually do. Right, so I usually use Raylib to draw things. Like, can I do Raylib in this language? I can't do Raylib in this language. Useless. Fucking useless. All right, so defer, by the way, this is a cool idea. Let's do defer. Yo. Look at that. Scheiße meine Freunde. Can your C do that? Can your stupid C do that? I don't fucking think so. Right. So, and the cool thing about Raylib is that it works with any language, right? So that's the power of simple languages like C. That's the power of simple languages like C. Right, so you can write some code and it will work in any language. Like, we haven't not encountered a language yet that would not support Raylib in one way or another, because it's just a C code. You can link with C code in pretty much any language. So, anyways, let's try to compile this shit. And is it going to compile? I think it is going to compile. Look at that. And if I do hello, look at that. We've got hello from C window. Look at the window. We already created the window. And the window was closed successfully. Window was closed successfully because it called close window. If I remove this thing, will it say close a window was closed successfully? That's a very interesting question, actually. I'm really curious. All right. It didn't print window was closed successfully. It didn't print that. So if I put defer in here and I just run it, right? So it will create a window. I close the window. It says window was closed successfully. Defer actually worked. Defer actually. Look at that. That's super cool, isn't it? I think it's pretty cool. All right. So you can do Raylib in this thing. That's pretty cool. But lately, defer and the only reason to do defer and drawing is so I can actually do the actual drawing somewhere here, like after, like, no, it's kind of too much, honestly. Like, guys, it's too much. I can understand that for close window, but within the, you know, event loop, it's too much, because this is supposed to be like a block. You're supposed to treat it as like a block where you start drawing and then end drawing and so on and so forth. Right, so I think deferring here is a little bit of overkill. Yeah, that's pretty cool language, But lately, I've been working with web a lot. I basically became a web developer, right? I lived long enough to see myself becoming a villain, right? So the question is, can I use this thing in web? Can I compile this mother flipper to WASM module? Let's say. Does it have a WASM support of some sort? I wonder. Right, so let's actually do C3C, and does it mention WASM? Okay, so it doesn't mention WASM anywhere in here. Disappointed, but maybe it mentions something about the target. So build target is a current, nah, I don't mean this kind of target, I mean the compilation target. Okay, so let's say web C3. And for instance, I want to create like an external function that computes a sum, right? So let's actually say it's going to be A. So it has a list targets. Okay, so we'll call it, but let me finish it first. Let me finish this thing first. So I'm going to do something like this. Right, so list targets. Can you... Fucking bingo! Motherfucking bingo! Okay, so can I... Alright, so compile... target WASM 32 and let's say web. Assuming non-POSIX environment, no main function was found, compilation, all the object files are generated. I hope it's not gonna speed out. Well, okay. So yeah, it barfed again. It really barfed again. So it says something like assuming non-POSIX environment, no main function was found, compilation, only object files are generated. So I feel like I have to explicitly say that I'm compiling like a module or something like that. C3 bombed again. Yeah, C3 bomb. C3 bomb. Okay, so let me see if what we can do in here. No entry, do not generate a main function. So we can try to do that. We can say, okay, no entry. Linking is not supported for unknown OS. Okay, that's fine. Look, I would like it to just generate like a static WASM module, but I feel like it's not gonna easily do that. Right, so maybe it maps main to WebAssembly entry point, but WebAssembly doesn't have an entry point, that's the thing. By itself, unless it's some sort of a standard, maybe WASI has something. Static lib, okay, so let me actually see what static lib has to do in here. So static lib, maybe the word static, so it doesn't really, okay, static lib, compile files without a project into a static library. Okay, all right, static lib. Maybe in this case I don't have to do that. Okay, and it's just an archive. It didn't give us anything per se, I wouldn't say. So it doesn't look like WASM either. Doesn't look like WASM either. WASM, I mean. All right, so let's take a look at other commands in here. Dynamic lib, compile, run, compile only. All right, so output. Okay, so let's give it a try. So there was an output. Let me find output. There's only output dir, but maybe I have to do something like help. Output. Nah, I don't see an output. All right, so maybe there is something related to WASM in the documentation. I specifically didn't want to use, you know, documentation because I wanted to figure that out myself. WebAssembly, dynamic lib, yeah. They have O. Okay. Right, so let's try static lib, and let's say the O is going to be web WASM. Assuming web. At WASM. So why do you say at WASM? That doesn't tell me anything, honestly. That doesn't tell me anything. All right, so do we have anything in lib, std, lib, or anything like that? So I feel like what I need in here is just an example. It's just an example. So maybe we can find some example in the official source code. Org WASM A, yeah, that's funny actually. That is rather funny, not gonna lie, that is rather funny. So unfortunately, just like with anything in web, it is not obvious how to do that. Right, so it is not obvious how to do that. So maybe there's some tests. So there's src. A simple example has Eva support matrix. Support matrix. Okay, so WASM. So what is this? Native C3 compiler available? No. But what is that? Target supported? Yes. WASM. And they don't really mention WASM that much. And just WASM in the documentation in here. Okay, there is a WASM keyword. I remember somebody in the chat talking about the WASM keyword, but again, just how do I use that? How do I fucking use it? I don't fucking know. There is a keyword for this thing, but there's no example how to use that. So I don't know. So I'm clicking on search. It doesn't allow me to search again. Hey, pause documentation. I have a feeling that WASM support is just generally not ready, right? So it's there to some extent. Like, dude, can you just work? It's having a trouble to do anything. All right, so yeah, it's kind of there, but it feels like a little bit experimental. You use it like extern, but how do I compile it? That's the thing. Okay, so cool. I can do WASM, but how then I compile my thing? How then I fucking compile it? I don't fucking know. Right, so what I need is just an example. Right, file, WASM file, and the command line that compiles it to WASM module. As soon as I get a WASM module, I can figure out what to do with it. Right, so, okay, there is a WASM keyword, but so what? So what I can use it as an extern? Give me command line. So, see what I'm talking about? It's not helpful. It's not helpful, chat. Stop being unhelpful. So yeah, there's some stuff in here. There's some... Yeah, I suppose it's incomplete, so there wasn't initialize. Yeah, I couldn't figure out how to use that. I just straight up couldn't figure out. So I can do compile. I can try to do something like this. By the way, maybe if I... so this is C3, let me try to compile it one more time. So no main function was fine, compilation. Let's give it a main function, right? So if it wants to have a main function, let's just give it a main function. Right, so here's your main function. And link is not supported for unknown OS. So maybe we have to specify the OS then. Maybe we have to specify the OS. Let me see. OS, well, it's not it's not the OS I wanted. Support for particular architecture plus OS target. Okay, how do I specify OS then? Perhaps unknown, yeah, probably. Unknown, but they said that probably just unknown. Yeah, couldn't figure out. Literally couldn't figure out. I tried. I genuinely tried. I'm gonna assume that WASM support is just like not ready. So it's just like not ready. So we're gonna put it aside. We're not gonna try to do that. Right. So yeah, I'm already streaming for 1 hour, and I would like to maybe make a small break, refill my water and stuff like that. And then after the break, we're gonna try to maybe write something, game of life. Well, at least we can link with Raylib, which is already something, right? So yeah, we'll try to figure out what we can do. So anyway, all right, I'm back. So let's actually clean up after the compiler, right? So we have no idea what the fuck is all of that shit. Right, so but let's just remove the object files and also remove all of that stuff. So what we're gonna do, boys and girls, what we're gonna do, so let's try to clean maybe the background first of all, right? So we're gonna do clear background, and so get background, clear background. And so as a color, by the way, right, so since it has such a great interop with C, so that means I should be able to define color as a structure, right? If I take a look at the Raylib, so clear background, right, so it is a color, and we can take a look at the type def struct. Well, I mean, I could just do color, right? How can I define this kind of structure? Also, with an intent to do interop with C. So do you have a struct? Okay, so this is kind of stuff we can do. I wonder if there's a C uint C uchar. I don't see C uchar. So there's a USZ, which is I suppose U size. But I don't see uchar. Maybe it's just char. It could be just char. So let me open the documentation for C3. I already kind of closed the website, so let me open it again. Does it have a section for C interoperability? Right, I should have actually looked into this thing first. Okay. So there is an extern linking static dynamic libraries, and that's about it, right? So we don't really have that much stuff. C3 cannot use C bit fields. We don't really need C bit fields. Fixed integer size, that means int and cint does not need to be the same. Uses fixed integer sizes. Okay, I don't really know what that means. So that means I can specify the size of this, of the integer if I use it. I'm really sure what that means, right? So, but that's fine. So this is a struct. So this is a div result, and do you have like a div function in C library? What is div? I never heard of such C function. Wait a freaking, there, libc has fractions? I just learned something about just libc, not C3 or anything like that. Libc has fractions. Did you guys know that? Computes the value, returns. Holy shit. I didn't know that. I just learned that through exploring C3. Just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Anyways. So here is we do div time. I suppose time t is, it's not really a structure, unfortunately. So there is a C file, but I suppose C file is an opaque type. Yeah, it is an opaque type. I feel like I can just pass structures in there, right? Anyways, I suppose what I want to do, I want to just do struct color, and if I take a look at the structs in here, so I suppose it's going to be char r g b a, and I wonder in terms of the structures, so struct, So I don't see structure, so maybe it's something with the types. Can I have structure literals? Can I have structure literals? I'm not quite sure. So maybe there was something in examples. Yeah. So struct. Okay, so I have struct types, and I can have nested structs and stuff like that, but it doesn't really tell me that much. Same syntax as C. I had to ask in the Discord. You can there aren't is okay, so that's actually pretty cool. All right. So that means I can do clear background, and I can just do something like R 255, and I feel like it may not work exactly the way I expect it to work, right? So because the characters are signed, so I'm not sure if it's gonna even compile properly. So this is not what I wanted. I wanted to actually do a Raylib. Where is the Raylib? Yeah, here it is. So let's just do the Raylib. Okay, so that worked. That worked exactly as I expected. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So we can, okay, so that was easy. That was easier than expected. All right. So how about hexadecimal literals? So can I do something like this? Can I do something like this? So I can just do something like FF. All right. So, and the background should be, yeah, so it's the same background as my editor. 18 in hex. So, but as far as I know, in Raylib, you have a special function get color that allows you to just do that. So I could do something like get color. All right. So 80 FF. This is the kind of stuff I can do in here. So, but color is unsigned integer, which makes me wonder. So this one returns a color, by the way, so I can just return a color, but it accepts cint. Does it have cu? It does in fact have cint. So it calls hex value. So and then we can say extern get color. So we can do stuff like that. All right, so you're gonna compile, you're gonna work, you're gonna twerk. It is working, it is fucking twerking, mate. All right, so we need to draw something on the screen, right? So we need to draw the rectangle. So draw a rectangle. So we need this thing. So let's just grab it. Let's just grip it. Just grip it. External. I'm so sorry. Right, so cint. And yeah, that's about it. So we can do draw rectangle. So writing bindings for this language is easier because it's almost C. So you can just copy paste C declarations and just like, you know, tweak it a little bit, and it's basically C3. Basically C3. So extern. So draw rectangle. So we're gonna do draw rectangle. And let's just draw it. Let's just fucking draw it, mate. Draw rectangle. So position is going to be 0, 0, width and height. Let's say maybe it's going to be 100 by 100, and the color is going to be maybe red. Let's use get color to, you know, figure it out. All right, so there we go. So is it going to work? Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that poggers? Isn't that woggers? So, and to be fair, like I wanted to do Game of Life, but I don't think Game of Life does the justice of this language. One of the things I want you to test for this language specifically is the vectors. So let's do something physics related, right? So where we need like a position vector and velocity vector, and we can update it over time and stuff like that. Is it just hair? Well, I mean, it obviously falls into the same niche as hair, right? Whether it's, you know, the same as hair, right? I don't really know. I think it's slightly different semantically and obviously syntactically. So one of the advantages of this language I see is that some of the algorithms from C can be directly copy-pasted in here and just like used without modifications, which is cool. All right, so this is one of the advantages that C++ has, right? And one of the reasons why C++ became popular, right? So you can just like, you have C code base, and you can just use C++ compiler for the C code base. So, and basically Zig is trying to repeat this kind of success, right? But in a more annoying way. So yeah, anyway, we have that. So let's actually take a look at the vectors. Right, how do you do vector types? I suppose, yeah, so we can just basically define a position. So let's go ahead and define a position. So this is going to be something like this. So this is the position, right? So this is basically the position, and it's going to be 0, 0. Can you actually spread that thing somehow? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Ooh, this is basically our case. Look at that. Huh. Look at that, look at that, look at that. But I'm not sure if you can just like literally do that. Nah, I'm not gonna use it like that. So essentially, it will be kind of cool if I could take the position, right? So take the position and just like sort of spread it like this. So yeah, and by the way, it has to be float. Thank you so much. All right, so let me see. Yeah, it's like JavaScript damaged my brain. I'm sorry. So I suppose I can do things like this. Is it going to work? It's not going to work. Look at that. So how do I access the elements from this thing? So this is the float. Oh, a float. Okay, float cannot be implicitly converted. You must use cast. How do you cast things in C3? Do we have any professional C3 developers in the chat? Who develops in this language professionally? How do you do casts? We can actually search. Let's do cast. Integer to pointer cast. Yeah, so let's just actually see. Is it like in C? Yeah, it's probably like in C because it tries to mimic C. So let's give it a try. I'm gonna explicitly say C int, and this is gonna be C int. Let's go. All right, this is gonna compile. It seems to be, yo, look at that. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to do float, do velocity, and I'm gonna just do 100 by 100. Right, and now before rendering this entire thing, I want to do equals position plus velocity multiplied by delta time. And delta time is going to be basically get frame time. So is it how it's called in Raylib? I don't quite remember. Get frame, yeah, it is basically that. All right, so let's put it in here. So it's going to be external function get frame time. I don't think I need that. And then I'm going to grab this entire thing, get frame time. All right. That is very cool feature. I really like this vector stuff. I really fucking love this vector stuff. I wonder, by the way, mind friend, if I can use the advanced version of the draw rectangle from Raylib, draw rectangle something like a V, which accepts the vector 2. And I wonder if the vectors of C3 are compatible with vector 2 in here. So because vector 2 in here is just a structure, so I think it's defined somewhere in RayMath. Is that a language? Yeah, it is a language feature, right? So it has a built-in vector types, so on which you can do mathematical operations, right? So you just define this kind of thing, and you do multiplication, and it just does component-wise multiplication automatically. You don't have to overload operators or anything like that. It's just like it's a feature of the language, right? So this is, by the way, one of the probably primary thing that prompted me to at some point look into this language, because this is something that I wanted in a native language, like on the level of C. And it implements a couple of GLSL things, like swizzling, for instance. You can do this kind of shit automatically. You don't have to define anything or anything. It's just like straight up swizzling from GLSL. So this is pretty cool. How did you discover this language anyway? I think somebody posted it on Discord, and I just looked briefly into this thing, and it's just like, what the fuck? I really like this thing. Is there a SPRB compile target? That's a good question. Let me see. So let's do these targets. Nah, there's no SPRB. That would be actually kind of cool. So there's NetBSD. Well, I mean, it's LLVM, right? So it supports everything LLVM supports, basically. Right, to some extent. Okay, so what do we have in here? Okay, so let me see. So I want you to use a more advanced version of draw rectangle. That's what I want you to do, more advanced thing, because I feel like you should be able to just do that. So extern FN, and in here, what I can do? Can I just do float to float? Yeah, float 2 essentially. And if it's going to work, at some point maybe I can use Scholar as a vector, which is going to be way cooler, honestly. Alright, so this is draw vector V, draw rectangle V, I'm sorry, I'm already a little bit tired. Extern draw vector rectangle V. There we go. So, and that will enable me to just pass this position without any casting or anything like that. So in here I would have to do something like 100 100, and here is the get color. If this will work, that would be absolutely freaking poggers. Okay, it doesn't really work. Type name was expected, but given the variable something something something, I don't get it. What do you want from me? I forgot to put a void in here. That's understandable. Is it going to work? Dude, no fucking way. Fuck you. So that means I can actually use, I can just say this kind of, I can just like use vectors all the way through. Okay, so I can just use the vectors, right? So that means I can do FF. Well, I mean, it's not particularly convenient, but I mean, I can just use vectors. Well, I can say that get color returns a vector, right? So I can probably, okay, I can probably define color to be like a vector character 4 or something like that at some point, not right now, but I mean at some point I will be able to do that. So I can finally change all of these small structures into vectors on which I can do sort of like array operations. So okay, so that means in here I can just swap them around, and this thing is going to be green. Okay, that's cool. So, and honestly, what I can do, right, as I already said, I can just say color, right, I can just say color, and replace this thing with that. Is it going to come back? Ah, yeah, semicolon. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so you know what else I can do? I can do vector 2, and this is going to be float 2. So I can just have aliases for all of these things. Right, so this is going to be vector 2. This one is going to be vector 2. So it looks a little bit closer to Raylib code, but it uses nice stuff from C3. Okay, I can work with that. I can work with it. Cool, very, very cool. So versions 2, did I say version? No, it's a vector 2. All right, what else can we do in here? What else can we do in here? We can maybe, I don't know, add a little bit of the, let's just make it bounce around basically, right? So the usual thing. So maybe we can make it start from, I don't know, from like a little bit away from the wall. Right. And by the way, if I remember correctly, you can actually compile and run simultaneously. Yeah, so here is the compile and run. So I don't have to run it like this. I can just run it like this. Compile and run. Okay, that's cool. So now, if I want to make it bounce around this stuff, The way I usually do that is I update the components separately, so in here it may become a little bit of an ass to do, but that's probably fine. That's probably fine. So let's maybe make it a little bit faster, first of all. So in here we're gonna have float new x, which is position x plus velocity x multiplied by dt. Right, so you can just do that for the vectors. And as far as I know, you can even use r, and r is an alias for x. And I suppose maybe you can also access it by index, but I'm not sure about that, so don't quote me on that, but you can do that. Since you can do swizzling, right, so that means you should be able to do this kind of thing. Right, so this is an x, and if nx, right, so we need to be aware of the size of the player. How do you define constants? How do you define constants? Right, so there was a def, right, so def, so define. Def statements in 3 is intended for aliasing identifiers and types. It's kind of interesting. So I suppose it acts like hash define in C, but actually normal, if you know what I mean. Like actually part of the language, not part of some sort of like weird preprocessor or anything like that. So you can, you know, alias names. Oh, there's also distinct types. Distinct in line. To create generics times functions and variables. Ooh, that's a kind of weird thing. So it's a definition. It's a thing for defining aliases. That's what it is. Or any kind of alias. Type alias, value, maybe value alias, like name alias and stuff like that. That's what it is. So the reason why I'm like focusing on that, can I have something like player size, which is basically just define player size like this. Can I have something like that? Let's find out. Let's actually find out. So I'm gonna just comment it out and I'm gonna try to run it. So it didn't like that. Expected constant name in here. So it doesn't understand the type of this thing. If I specify the type of this thing as a vector 2, will it? Well, I mean, obviously, yeah, it's not going to work like that, because the definition of the types, you define first type and then the name. Right, so first type and then the name. Use const. You think const is going to work? Let's give it a try. It's kind of weird, but I mean, okay, const works. Okay, so it's like in C++. So you, okay, let me ask you. So you're right now sitting in their Discord and basically asking all of the questions that I have in here. So you're basically translating them my question. So is that what's going on? Say hi to them. No, I'm not. It's a thing I found myself when doing the same thing. Okay, I see. All right, makes sense. Okay, so if this thing is less than 0 or nx plus player size x is greater than the, you know, size of the window, we can do like get screen width. We can do get screen width. In that case, what we want to do, we want to do velocity x multiplied by -1. Right. Otherwise, we are committing that new x, and then I'm going to replace x with y. Boom. But I have to replace this thing. So yeah. Get screen, if I remember correctly, get screen width returns an integer. Yeah, it's an integer. It's a C integer. C int. Get screen width. Get screen width. Boom. query replace width with height. Boom. We are Gucci. We are Tamagotchi. Let's go. Bow, 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 bow. Easy. All right. So it's pretty cool. So the next thing I want to probably introduce in here is the gravity, right? So that means I can do vector2 gravity, and since it points down, so that means x is going to be 0, and in terms of down, it is going to be usually like 1000 works fine for me. So usually it works fine. So first thing we need to do, we need to modify the velocity. So velocity is going to be, I suppose, plus gravity multiplied by dt. Man, like the fact that you just have built-in vectors is so goddamn satisfying. So goddamn satisfying. Make it change the color and color. That sounds like an interesting idea. We're gonna. So yeah. Doesn't lose any energy, right? Doesn't lose any energy. So I think every time it collides with something, right? So we change these things. So we have to do maybe something like this. So at some point it will lose enough energy. Right. Boom, 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 boom. And now it's sliding. Right. So changing the color, so that means we need to keep track of the color somehow, right? So this is going to be the color, and the color that I do in here, right? The color that I do in here, it's going to be this. But that raises the question, how do we generate the color? So I think the easiest thing to do in here would be to use HSV, right? So color from HSV. So we're going to keep saturation and value the same, but we're going to randomize the hue. So we're going to pick a random hue, essentially, every time we collide or something. So first of all, let me just pick a random stuff. So saturation and value are the values from 0 to 1. So let's say that it's going to be super saturated and I suppose super bright. So the hue is a value from 360 because it's in degrees. I also need to have a random value. So does C3 has a random number generator? So let's actually use that thing. So we can use it from libc, honestly. So random, oh, it has its own random. Okay, so I can appreciate that. So you can specify the seed. So you accept the random. It's kind of a, all of that is macros. Look at that. We're looking at macros. Bruv. So we can just do rand and okay. So that's understandable. So we can just do rand and it's a maximum value. Okay. All right. So I think I can work with that. Chat, I think I can work with it. So I have to probably just like import some stuff. So std math, right? Import std math. It would be also nice to maybe factor out all of the Raylib stuff into a separate thing, right? So maybe something like Raylib C3. But I don't know how to work with modules. We have documentation for that, so let me see. So you can just do module foo. All right. So I'm gonna just like YOLO it. So I created a separate file, Raylib C3. I suppose I have to put module Raylib in here, right? I'm gonna just try to maybe move all of this Raylib related stuff into that thing. All right, so I'm gonna just try to do it like that. And then I'm gonna just import Raylib. And I'm gonna hope that maybe that's enough. Right, so I'm gonna hope that that's enough. So maybe I have to also specify that some of these things, look at that, I never have to even specify that those things are public or private or anything like that. I really like that. Also, like honestly, there's some annoying aspect of Rust and other kind of similar languages is that by default, they make all of the names within the module private. So it is very unergonomic, and I'm going to explain you why. Essentially, you are writing some code. You're just like streaming your consciousness into the code, and you write like a huge blob of code. Okay, so now you want to split that code into separate modules. You take chunks of this code, put into separate modules. But now these modules are so interconnected. Now you have to spend extra time putting publics in all of these things and stuff like that. It's so goddamn fucking annoying. So I feel like modules by default has to be always public. Right. So I already had that about NIM2, very annoying. Yeah. So it's either they have to be all public or they have to do the JAI approach. In JAI, I think you have like a scope file or something like that. So let me actually find the JAI. Right. So I think we can open just a random module and find, yeah, they have this kind of thing. So essentially, everything above the scope file is public. Everything below is private. That's it. That's it. Seriously, it's the simple delimiter. So essentially, if you don't have a scope file, right, it's gonna be all public. But then you can add this delimiter, and then you can like selectively pick. Okay, make that private, and that private, and that private. And it's almost like mechanical. It's almost like mechanical, and it's really convenient. It's similar to C++, like private, public, and stuff like that. Yeah. So I really like this approach. Like it's very ergonomic, honestly. Right. So you just like tucking it behind like private stuff. So anyway, this is a much better approach. Now. What we were doing, so this is a Raylib and Yusu. Okay, so and now if I try to build, is it going to just work? Okay, so it doesn't like HSV. All right, so for now I'm gonna put it like that, and I'm gonna just say ff000 ff. All right, is it gonna compile? Okay, so what do we have in here? Raylib could not be found. That is concerning, honestly. That is concerning. I wonder if I can say, okay, search for libraries like in here. So, and this is something that is extremely annoying. You have a module Raylib in the same folder as the other module, and it doesn't see that. So add to the compilation command. That's a good point. So maybe that's exactly what I have to do. So just a second, C3. And okay, so that worked. That actually worked. But now, oh, it wants me to have like a prefixes for Raylib. Interesting. Can I say import everything? Can I do stuff like that? So by regular lowercase, can I just do? All right. So here's the modules. How can I import, implicit import the module? We also, implicit change in default visibility. Oh, this is actually kind of cool. So I remember somebody asked in the chat, like, isn't it annoying to do private all the time in here? You can change the default visibility. So you can just do this kind of stuff and they're private by default. All the strokes for all the folks, right? So if you're the Rust guy or girl who likes the private by default, there you go. Here's your thing. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So how do I import everything from a module? So import. Okay. Okay. Importing modules. Module sum. So it always feels like maybe I just need to read that. Always recursively import submodules. Any module will automatically import all the other submodules. So import sum foo not needed as it is submodule of sum. I don't get it. I don't get it. Are you telling me that I must use Raylib prefix everywhere in here now? That's what you're telling me, bro. That is kind of annoying. So let me take a look at some of the examples maybe in here. I want to just grab for different kinds of imports. How do you import shit? I honestly don't see any special syntax to import everything. So then libc, yeah. So they import in libc and then they explicitly use. I feel like this is a thing in the language, right? So you have to like prefix this shit. So I wonder if there's something like using namespace. Yeah, exactly. I wonder if there's something like using. Let me see. Maybe there's something because that's a little bit annoying. Using implicit imports, visibility. Does yeah, already works. Tried star. Already tried star. So there is a section in the docs using functions and types from other modules. Using functions. And see, there is a section using function. Oh yeah, that's what you're saying. Using function from other modules. It's not obvious. Namespace required to avoid ambiguity. We always pick the current module name. Namespace required. Serious, it feels like they require you to do that. As a rule, functions, macros, constants, variables, and types in the same modules do not need any namespace prefix. For imported modules, the following will hold. Functions, macros, constants, and variables require at least the sub-module name. Sad. Use built-in. Wait, I saw this thing in a standard library. Just a second. Built-in. What does built-in do? Do they even explain? Built-ins. Cabal offers built-in constants and only available in a certain targets. So I don't think it's a good idea, right? So I suppose there is a special exception for things that are sort of built in. So nah, I'm not gonna do that, right? So it's an interesting idea, but I'm not gonna do that. All right, apparently it is a rule. We have to literally prefix it. Can I at least like rename it as? Nah, I can't do that. Right, so because it's a little bit annoying, I would like to maybe rename it. Right. Okay, so this is going to be Raylib, Raylib. Okay. Raylib. But at least now Raylib is not going to collide with WinAPI or anything like that, because that was the major problem with Raylib in C. Okay, so I didn't finish all of these things, so window should close Raylib. Okay, so get screen Raylib, get screen Raylib. Alright, so a get color, yeah, get color is annoying, but yeah, it's not that annoying. Alright, that was pretty cool. And it kind of stuck. So what we want you to do, we want you to have color from HSV. So here's the color from HSV. And in a Raylib in here, I'm going to just define it, right? So color from HSV. So there is a C. Do I have to do C float? Yeah, so here I just used float and it was totally fine. So maybe in libc, can I have floats? Yeah, so you can just use floats. extern fn, and it's supposed to return just a caller. And this is just an external thing, caller from HSV. Caller from HSV. So now in hello, I just do Raylib caller from HSV. Right, that's what I do. And I need the random stuff. So math random. So I need to import actually something like this. I need math random, and the function that I want to use actually is rather interesting. So it's random rand. I suppose there was just a rand. Yeah, there we go. So it takes a maximum, so that means I can do the following thing, right? I can just say the maximum is going to be 100, and then I can divide by 100. So this is how I can get the value from 0 to 1. Maybe there is a way to use... Okay. So next float. You have to provide the random in here. So that means you need to construct the random. So the macro random, is there just like a default random? So there is an interface random. So we provide the seed. So they all accept some sort of a random, but I have no idea how to construct this thing. Oh, this is built in. So that means I don't have to prefix this entire thing because it uses the cheating. Right, it uses the cheating. Okay, so we'll just try to compile it. I don't want to run it right away. It compiles. Right, so just like... So this is what you guys were talking about, right? So you put built-in in here and you don't have to... This is so bizarre, honestly. It gives me like a NIM vibes. NIM is actually riddled with this kind of undocumented magical things. But this is because it's probably unfinished language, right? So it's understandable. It's totally understandable. Okay, anyway, so let's just try to run it. Just try to run it and see what it's going to do. And it crashed. Very interesting, actually. So it's something with a Raylib. So I accepted the... Yeah. Illegal instruction. Holy shit. UB, yeah. So we finally got some UB stuff. I wonder, okay, so what if I just like do it like that? Is it going to... It's because of the random. Believe it or not, it's because of the goddamn random. So what if I put this thing in here? Guys, your random implementation using non-existent instructions. Maybe random needs a seed, maybe. I don't know. So seed. But I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, where do I get this the random thing? So you know what's cool about Raylib is that it has its own random. So yep, it just has its own random. Like, yeah, you didn't have to rely on vendors of the languages or anything like that. You can just use it. Yep. I don't know what exactly incorrectly I did in here, but I mean, so it is what it is, and it isn't what it isn't. Get random value, and in hello, we can do Raylib get random value. So from 0 to 100, divide by 100, and we can just try to run it. There we go. So it uses the random caller. And so I suppose I can now inline this whole thing. like so. So that is going to work. So some I probably see. Yuzu, cover you freaking desu. Yuzu, cover you freaking desu. It's when it's sliding, it's just constantly actually you know, colliding basically. So yeah. Okay, so maybe we can actually have more of these things. Can we have more of these things? How do you do arrays? All right, so here's arrays. Can you have dynamic arrays? So you just specify array size. Okay, understandable. Pretty fucking. Ooh. Type inferred. It's just inferred. Okay. So you can have slices. Can you extend slices? Conversion least. Okay, understandable. Internals, iteration. Okay, well, vectors is not what is not C++ vectors. Ooh, iteration over arrays. So, ooh, looks familiar. So you can just push some arrays, and then you can then iterate them. How for each works in this case? So you may iterate over slices array vectors using for each. It is possible to enable for each for any type by implementing len and brackets methods and annotating them using the operator attribute. Damn, bruv. Is there any generics? Right, so you have dynamic arrays in here, but yeah. So what is going on? Why people are pinging me? So we need to ban somebody. Who needs to be banned? Mods. Ban Vadiku Sami Vanji. Permaban. So I don't understand who you guys are talking about. It's that person. Okay, let's actually ban them. I see them. Boom. Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. So it's actually very convenient when people who needs to be banned say that, yeah, I need to be banned. It's very convenient. Thank you so much. So I'm clicking ban, but nothing is happening. So you can just use the /ban command. So as far as I know, it just works in web chat as well, right? So just like ban that person or somebody. We won. Yeah, we won. So it would be kind of nice to have some sort of a generics or whatnot, but we can just use static arrays. Right, so let's actually define something like n. So it's an integer, and let's say we're gonna have like a 10 of them. But so we need to factor out this into a separate structure. So let's call it something like object, right? And it's going to be a vector position. So then velocity, and color, something like this. So yeah, and let's actually do something like object. All right, and I can probably do something like that. Look at that. So let's try to go to the compilation errors. So yeah, it's complaining about very much expected stuff. So this is object. All right, and then so it's gonna be 28 position. Where is the position? I didn't see position for some reason, but it's an object. So also object. Maybe actually what I have to do is query replace position with object position, like this, boom, 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 boom. And by the way, I'm pretty sure I can just do something like this. So yeah, wait, this is not, yeah, so this is not supposed to be here, right? So definitely not supposed to be here. So could you replace velocity with object velocity, boom. No, that one for sure, no, that one, there we go. Cool. And the same for the colors, so colors, this is not that, that, all right, so that's pretty cool. All right, look at that, isn't that cool? I think that's pretty cool. Okay, so one of the things I want to do is probably maybe randomize an object, right? Object, oh, I can have methods in here, can I? Bruv, I can have methods in here. Yo. So and it's like, yeah, you can just do a fan object randomize, and yeah, actually it's rather convenient. I'm surprised how convenient it is. So it's going to be obj, so and can move all of that shit into randomization of the objects. So in terms of, I suppose, since it's a decent language, right, I don't have to do arrows or anything like that. I expect it to automatically dereference all of the structures. Yeah, it is the case, right? It doesn't have to do this kind of shit. Right, so we can do it like that, and so we can just set a random position, but the question is like what kind of random position we're going to be doing in here. So let's say it's going to be get random value from 0 to, it has to be get screen width, I suppose, right? So it has to be something like that, get screen width, Raylib get random value 0 get screen height. Look at that. So, and in both of the cases it also Raylib. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So this is semicolon, this is semicolon. I'm not gonna set random velocity yet. We're gonna set it at some point. So I wonder, can I just create an initialized object and just randomize it later? Is that something I can do? Let's find out. I can. Perfect. So that's actually super cool. So that means now I can have a bunch of objects, right? So for example 10. So then I can do for each so objects, let me double check how you do for each, right? So you just, yeah, you specify the type. Can I actually specify that I'm, you know, referring them by a reference or by a pointer? I think I should be able to. So after that I can say randomize. That is pretty ergonomic, not gonna lie. I like what I'm seeing. I really like what I'm seeing. So if I try to now compile, well, I mean, something didn't work. Okay, so how do you do arrays? How do you define arrays? Yeah, so I suppose arrays, the size of the array is part of the type. Understandable. Right. So what is the object? It's not possible to cast object. Okay. What else do we have in here? Object. Oh yeah, so now we have a completely different situation. Does it iterate them by reference? So I'm not quite sure. Let me take a look at the examples, and in examples we had for each, I do remember. So for each loop you have index and a value, but is it by value? I have a strange feeling that it's literally a value, and trying to modify this thing is not going to do anything. So we'll probably have to do this variant with the index. Right, so we have to do this variant with the index. So this is the velocity. Okay, so let's do for each objects. Right, and we just like enclose this entire thing in here. Right, and let's see if it's going to do anything. Like, I expect it's not. Yeah, it didn't do shit, right? Because it's not iterated by reference, which this is bizarre, honestly. So people say it has to be object, but I mean, you didn't specify the type. You're giving me incorrect for each. For each is supposed to have type in there, or is it not? I don't know. That is kind of bizarre. So let me see. So this is something like this. Oh, okay. That is cool. Thank you so much. All right, I really like that. So also, we probably have to limit this thing by the size of the player. Do we have a size of the player? Yeah, so we have size of the player minus player size X and minus player size Y. All right, so it doesn't really go outside. So what's up with that? I see. So the player size, well, I mean, it's not really in floats. That's a bit annoying. So I'm gonna just cast it as like to C int, but it's really wrong. It's really wrong in here. So casting to C int is wrong. It would be better to have an RNG that generates floats 0 to 1 in the first place. So I'm going to put it as a to-do, which I will never probably finish, right? So, but as a note to myself, right? So this is not what I'm supposed to do, but it's just like whatever. All right, so we got those things and they're moving around. As you can see, it's pretty easy to scale the code, right? So I can now quite easily change the amount of objects. What about 20 objects? So now I can have 20 of these objects. So it's easy to scale. So we can factor these things. So I can say something like collision damp. Right, and we can maybe make it equal to 1 again, so we never lose any energy. So they keep like jumping around, never lose any energy. So that's pretty fun. So yep, that was really fun. So yeah, it's a cool language. I can see myself using this language. It would be also kind of cool if WASM was easier, right? So, but I suppose they're getting there, right? So the language is not finished, so the WASM support is kind of meh, but I expect it to be better in the future. So as for the language itself, and generally, yeah, I can see myself using it. I can see myself using it. 8 out of 10. Good language. Good programming again. So yeah. I guess that's it for today. I'm already falling asleep, unfortunately. I'm already falling asleep, so I'm not gonna stream for too long. Thanks everyone who's watching right now. I really appreciate it. Have a good one, and I see you all on the next recreation programming session with Mr. Azozin. Love you all. Mwah.